just covered in blood like that and dirt and trash. Like she just wasn't nothing. Hurt me. The way that she was filmed in the trash can upside down with her head facing the trash can hurt me. Me trying to open up her eye and I couldn't open her eye. Just broke me. Like I didn't know what to do. I'm like, is she dying on me?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel where we like to shed light on current event stories as well as important topics. Well, topics that I myself find important and stories that I believe should come to light and be talked about. So, on today's topic of the day, or story, I should say, for the topic of this video, I want to talk about a situation regarding a baby that was found in a dumpster in Texas, specifically Austin, as you can read in the headline here. My wife actually brought this to my attention. She had a bit of a sad face going on, and she told me that she just saw a video at the time. I believe it was yesterday. She saw a video about a baby being dumped into a trash bin or a dumpster, and how a woman was going by and rescued the baby, and the baby was in critical condition, closing her eyes. Apparently, she still had the umbilical cord still on, and so for that, being parents to three kids, my wife especially, she was kind of upset, angered by the whole situation, as well as very saddened by it. And I have to agree, I believe stuff like this shouldn't even be happening. And now look, I'm not judging anybody, I'm not going to judge, but although I do disagree about how the situation with an unwanted child was handled, I will never judge someone because we never know what they're going through. We can't say that we knew what they were thinking, their train of thought was, so therefore we cannot make any judgments on it. The only thing we can do is disagree and talk about it, and that's what we're going to do today. So, as you can see, uh, infant was found in a dumpster, and lady comes by with her, I believe it was husband, and I guess she heard the baby um, and looked into the dumpster, sees a baby face down, and she had her husband go in there and rescue the baby, pull the baby out. Still had the umbilical cord, everything. She was full of blood, I believe in the belly side, waist down. She was full of blood. I imagine it would be from, post birth. She was a fresh baby, maybe a day, maybe 2 days. I honestly can't even tell you. I couldn't even finish the video. I saw it trending on X, and I was watching this video, and they showed the baby. I'm not going to show it on here because it's a little disturbing, but the lady was videoing the baby, and the baby just kind of looked like it was giving up. Um, Now, me myself, personally, me and my wife, we have three kids, our youngest being less than 2 months old. So I'm just fresh out of that newborn stage, or you could say I'm still in the newborn stage. But for someone who, is full of kids in the household and, you know, spent days in the hospital with each one and, builds that bond with their child, um, any parents out there might agree with me on this. This is disheartening. This is kind of sickening. Um, but again, whoever decided to leave that baby probably didn't know any better, or maybe they did. We can't make that decision for them. But definitely something like this, that person should be, in my opinion, held responsible. Um, this is very disheartening. And so let's get to the newsletter here. I'm just going to scroll down here real quick and show you guys the story. So she said that we found her in the trash can. I had to get my husband to get her out, and I couldn't see her in there, said the woman in the video. It was in a North Austin apartment complex, and this happened on Saturday the 20th. So 4 days ago, 5 days ago now. Yeah, even reading this is just upsetting. And they heard what they thought might be a newborn child, infant, crying in the dumpster. Um, and now going back to the video that I saw or the videos that I watched, the baby was literally just eyes closed. It was showing, like that face you make when you're starting to give up and you're just like, I can't do this anymore. And even myself, when I watched that video, I had to look away and I had to keep scrolling. I just couldn't finish it. It was it was very sad. But guys, I believe that things happen for a reason in life, and that woman, in my opinion, was there for a reason. She was meant to find this baby, and if I remember correctly, I read somewhere, as well as I think I heard it on on Instagram, that she was looking to adopt that child. I believe she is a mother, so she was probably going through the motions as well. And so, if she does decide to keep this baby, that'll be one heck of a story for this child when she grows up, or he, I believe it was a baby girl. Um, Actually, let's check real quick. I don't know if they state that. Um, no, I don't think they say it. Um, no. Excuse me. Anyways, guys, so if you were in a position, I want to just kind of put this out there. Me and my wife had a discussion about it. It ignited a conversation, this whole story, and we sat there and we talked about this. Um, and now my wife she's got a very big heart. She's a very caring person, individual, and a great mother in my eyes. And when I asked her what she thought about situations like these, where we hear about these babies getting dumped and just getting left, recently we've been seeing stories about children getting left in car seats in hot cars, and moms going out to get their Botox, nails done. I don't know. You guys probably heard of these stories, and you know, my wife and I, we discussed it, and for her, she thought to herself, yes, there are people out there who might not be ready for a child. And we're not going to go down the route of judging people who have children, at an early age, or young parents, or unprepared parents. We're not going to go down that route. Like I said, we're not here to judge, but we are here to maybe criticize on their decisions. And that is exactly what me and her talked about. And so we kind of talked about, if a parent, mom or dad, was in a situation where they could no longer, parent a child or be responsible for a child, and they just so happen to have a kid, you know, the best thing to do would be, as she said, there are many safe haven spots where you can take your child and tell them, hey, we can't care for this child. We have nowhere to care for a baby. And many places will take a child, you know, churches. I've never done it myself, but I've heard of, churches, even the old cliche firehouses. I don't know. We were talking about this and she was saying, like, just if you can't care for this child and have nowhere to raise a baby, or your parents would, you know, disagree, and or something, whatever your situation may be, you got to find a, a a better reason, a better, you know, destination than a dumpster. I'm not here to judge again, but guys, parents, young parents, if you ever feel like, hey, you're not ready for a child and you need somewhere to take a baby, reach out to, community places like the police station, or reach out to churches, reach out to look up safe haven spots on Google for babies, adoption centers. There are people out there who will take care of this child if you cannot care for it. Um, but personally, we should never leave a child in a dumpster. And it's it's still kind of getting to me just thinking about it. Um, anyways, guys, remember we're not here to judge. We're here to just kind of talk about it and bring it to light. And for the person who, in this situation, left their child in the dumpster, I believe that they were found, and law enforcement is going to be, dealing with that individual or those individuals, whoever was, responsible for that. Guys, I appreciate you for watching and for taking the time out of your day. Remember to have a great day. It's almost Friday. Tomorrow is finally Friday. Have a great day, guys, and thank you for taking the time. If you found these uh, topics interesting, or if you find my channel to be interesting, please like, comment, and subscribe for me if you could. I'm just trying to shed some light here on current events that I believe are important. And anyways, guys, with that being said, have a great one, and we will see you in the next one.